morning football to you, Jane. Thank you so much for being on the show this morning. Now, the Texans, they're getting ready to take on the Cowboys on the practice field behind you in about an hour. Can you set the scene and sort of the vibe there right now?
Well, later today, the Cowboys will take the field at 5 o'clock inside the Ford Center at the Star. At 9:30, the Texans will practice. And what they're doing is they're going to close their practice. The Cowboys have kept theirs open. Texans told me they didn't want to inconvenience the Cowboys anymore. They know that they're doing them a huge favor this week. So we'll be able to be in there for about 30 minutes. At 11 o'clock, we'll finally be able to catch up with Bill O'Brien and his players. Keep in mind, this is a team that has not been back to Houston since, of course, Wednesday when they left for New Orleans in that preseason game. So this has logistically been a little bit of an issue. I think the bigger concern for a lot of them in talking with the team is their loved ones that are still in Houston. Of course, they've all had contact with them, but the Texans are telling them really the message is family first. If there's anything that they need to get to their family members, the Texans want to help them facilitate that. But right now it's just day to day. The Texans are planning on practicing here today and tomorrow, and then they'll sort of see what the rest of the week has looked like. There still has not been a decision made on where this game will actually be played. Of course, that was supposed to be played in Houston on Thursday, so things still up in the air. It's interesting. I did reach out to head coach Sean Payton with the New Orleans Saints because the Texans had just played there. And, of course, this is a team that knows what it's like to go through these sort of things. And he reminded me back in 2008, they went through a similar situation with Hurricane Gustav. In that situation, New Orleans was the last plane out. They ended up taking practice to Indianapolis for a week ahead of the regular season game. So he, of course, empathizes with them. He offered up the facility to the Texans if they wanted to stay in New Orleans. I was told logistically it just didn't make sense because right now you don't know what the weather situation is looking like. It looks like now New Orleans and that area is tracking to have severe storms and heavy rain, so they didn't know what the airport situation would look like. And in this case, worst comes to worst, the Texans can get on a bus and take the 3.5-hour trip down to Houston. So we'll just sort of see how this whole thing shakes out. But Texans here getting in some practice and the Cowboys opening up their doors for them.